camcorder right here, which is pretty old. This camera's pushing probably 25 years old. And I thought it would be kind of cool to just shoot some stuff where I'm not editing anything. And this is just like almost like a home video, I guess, but for the internet to watch. So if you're interested in this kind of nostalgic look of like clip with no editing, just straight out of a camera, then enjoy. I'm not going to watch any of this. I'm not going to reshoot anything. This is just going to be what comes out of the camera, and I will see it when you see it, when it goes up on the internet. So yeah, thanks. Today is September 24th. It's a Tuesday, 2024. It's kind of raining outside, and I've got some stuff to do today. I don't know whether I will be able to take this camera with me or not because it is pretty bulky. I'll show you what I mean. Button. This is what we're shooting on right here. So as you can see, it's a fairly large-sized camcorder. I like this thing though. This thing is so cool. I'd love to show more stuff about this, but I'd have to shoot on something else. So I might make a video about this later on. Anyways, this is a cool camera. I don't know if I'm gonna bring this with me everywhere, but I'm gonna try to bring it with me some places. And back there, you can see my bad habit. It's a hookah, by the way. It's just a hookah. It's not anything terrible, but yeah, here we go. Our garage is trashed right now. I'm heading out to the store, and I just figured I would show like what I'm riding on most of the time. I usually use this to get around and drive my truck when needed. But if I don't need to drive a truck for whatever reason, I'm on this Ibex 800S, which is what I'm going to ride to the store to get some coffee and some fruit for the day. And then, yeah, maybe I'll just kind of talk about where we live and everything like that, like what's going on around here. Turns out I do have to take the truck today, which is not a big deal. You know, you can't win them all. I would prefer to ride my motorcycle whenever possible, but it's pretty rainy today. Usually I wouldn't mind riding in the rain, but I don't know. I don't want to ride in the rain and get groceries at the same time and worry about everything getting wet. So we live in Indiana. It rains here. We actually had tornadoes, or a tornado come through here like 2 days ago. It's kind of random. I used to really dislike it here. My family's from here, from an area called Muncie, which is really small. Well, I guess it's not really small, about 70,000 people or so. But coming from Cincinnati, living in Japan and things like that, it definitely feels pretty small. But the longer I've been here, the more I kind of like it because it's quiet. People are generally pretty nice. And the things I want to complain about are pretty minor. Like there's not really crime here like there is where we were at in Ohio. A lot of good food. You know, they have like festivals, like farmers markets and things like that. So it's not terrible. But I kind of want to change the scenery after being here for 2 years. Maybe just a vacation, but seeing the same kind of corn and the same roads over and over again, it just kind of gets a little repetitive. I could go for some hills and mountains and maybe the ocean. Maybe I was just spoiled by growing up in Okinawa where there's all of that. Hills, mountains, ocean, lots of stuff to do. There's a lot less to do here, but there's also a lot less people to bother you. So that's kind of nice. Go on, Kage. We got Kage. It's a black German Shepherd puppy. Actually, a week and 1 day ago. So far, he's been pretty good. We got him to protect the hens that are back here, which actually have not been let out yet because it's super wet and they'll hate it. Pretty chill dog so far, though. Kage! Pretty cute. A little derpy. The way our backyard is set up is pretty cool because we've got a really big fence that was just put in after we moved in. But it's about 1/3 of an acre of a backyard. So, got a big fenced in area. Goes over to the side of the house also. And these massive trees, which I'm really happy exist. Only downside is we have this power line that goes to our roof right there. Will it focus? Whatever. Well, yeah, there we go. That power line goes to our roof. So I didn't think it would get in the way of anything really, but it's only like 12 feet in the air. And I've had to move this thing around a couple times, that thing right there. And moving it and trying to flip it, it will almost hit that if I'm not careful. So my grandparents actually got a little swing set for the kids set up the other day, so that was nice. Our son loves it. Our daughter loves it too. She's only 6 months, but she can still swing in that little tiny swing set. And the chickens seem to enjoy the backyard also. This is all kind of nice because we were in an apartment for years until we moved into this house. So glad to be in a house again. Glad to be in a nice, large, inexpensive Indiana house made out of good old Indiana limestone, which supposedly is better than brick. So if you ever want to make a really good hookah, the trick is you need to have a funnel bowl with 4 coals on top and poke a hole, like a bigger hole in the middle of it all. There you go. Poke a bigger hole in the middle and small holes around the outside. And then rotate the coals all the time. Also use a disposable hose because these taste better and they don't have that weird like rubber on the inside. But the best thing you should do is never smoke hookah because it's actually really bad for you. Why is there a Pizza King cup out there? I just realized that. I don't know. I probably used it for something. Forgot to bring it in. So I've got this idea to travel back to Japan and start in Hokkaido, the northern part of Japan, and get some motorcycles and document, like make a little docu-series riding from the north part of Japan all the way down to the southern part of Japan, taking a ferry over to Okinawa where I grew up and stopping at random places to do like touristy type things, but kind of off the beaten path, you know. Maybe we'll go to some hot springs, try out basashi, horse sashimi in Kumamoto. I've had basashi before, but never in Kumamoto. And then, yeah, climb Mount Fuji, hang out with the locals, do cool stuff like that. It's not really a plan, it's more of like just an idea though right now. I feel like I need to do a lot of planning for it. It would probably cost quite a bit of money as well. Kage. Dame. But that's kind of like a pipe dream of mine, to go back to Japan and do that kind of docuseries. I've always been really heavy into documenting stuff. Ever since I was a kid, I've had a camera. Whether it was a video camera, a little Olympus, like point and shoot type deal, or mini DV cameras like this. But I would document just everything that was going on, and I had like shoe boxes full of these tapes. And I found a couple of them not too long ago. I posted a video about it, but I'm missing quite a few of them. It'd be kind of cool to do something kind of like Vice almost, like Nat Geo / Vice, but stuff that I'm interested in, which is things that are off the beaten path in certain countries, especially Japan. But now that I'm a dad and I'm married, it's kind of harder to do, so it's going to take a lot of planning. It'd be cool though if anybody knows someone that could hook me up with like a Honda sponsorship so we could get some Honda Shadows and ride down or whatever. I've already talked to a couple people in Japan about it who do video work, who'd be very interested in helping out with it. But that would definitely be next year sometime if it was to happen, or the year after that. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I just don't know how to go about starting a project like that. It's so expensive and it's so far away. You know, I haven't been back to Japan since I left. I had a couple opportunities to move back, but I chose not to. And I think it was the right decision at the time, but I just think it would be cool. I think people would like it. I want to create stuff. I want to make things. I've noticed that when I don't make like something real, that I feel bad. I I do a lot of photography. I've been a photographer for, like professionally, for maybe like 7 years, and just like as a hobbyist for over 20. And yeah, when I take pictures, I like to tell stories. I really like photojournalism. I like attending protests and things that are going on to get photos of what's happening, like historical events, as well as just documenting anything. I followed a drag queen around for a while in Cincinnati, and like followed him getting ready for his performance and actually doing the performance and everything. That was pretty cool. It's very interesting. What's up, chickens? So I don't know. I would just like to take that into a more professional level, and do it on a bigger scale than just stuff that's near me. It's hard to do what I want to do just because of the money aspect. That's like the real barrier to entry for a lot of this stuff. But why not, right? I mean, somebody else did it. Why wouldn't I be able to do it? Someone else has already done it before. It's not like it's impossible. I just want to make good stuff that I'm proud of, and then I can look back on later on and be like, ah, I made that. That was me. Or I got to experience this, and now you get to kind of experience it secondhand. So, yeah. Side note, 7 Brew coffee is basically sugar with a little bit of coffee added into it for like $8. But it's all right sometimes.
Kage, you like your bone, dude? It's not a rawhide, it's like a non-rawhide type deal. Seems to like it so far. Cuide, cuide. Can't wait till everything actually turns like full-fledged autumn. It looks nice right now though. I like all the green. Are you gonna tell us where to go? Are you gonna tell us where to go?
Go, right there.
Okay, go on.
All right, you stop when you get to the end. Do not go across. Stay close.
Kage's doing all right. He's still learning, but he's doing pretty good on his leash. Only had him for a week and a day today.
I can't do falsetto like that anymore. I really like shout that like loud, but trying to go falsetto is weird. I don't know. Keep you close to me. I don't know. Usually it's like screamed, but I feel like with acoustic that won't really work. Keep you close to me so I can feel you. Be my third degree. I don't know. Falsetto feels weird singing that. I feel like the original close to me. They don't actually do that, but anyways, I like that song. Yeah.
Come here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What you doing, Kage?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all are mad today. Is it because it's so windy? Alright, I'll get him some food. Whew. It is super windy right now. We've got the, what is it, like Hurricane Helga? I don't know. Hurricane H something is coming through. The winds are, at least. It's not a hurricane when it hits Indiana, it's just a tropical storm. And even at that point, I don't even know if it's tropical anymore because we aren't over the ocean, but it's very windy still. All right, I need to find some food to go in here. I can't believe I left this out. It's nasty inside now.
So I used to be really heavily into photography, where I'd shoot on old film cameras like this Canon XHA1 or medium format cameras, big huge digital cameras with zoom lenses and all that kind of stuff. I did street photography, documentary photography, portrait photography, fine art photography, wedding photos and stuff. But I've taken virtually no photos over the past 3 years. So I want to fall back in love with photography. And to do that, I'm going to pull out this old Fujifilm camera. This is not really super old, but it's like a film style digital camera. That's why it's got like film style stuff at the top of it and a pretty basic setup. So I'm going to take this with me everywhere, try to take at least one picture a day. Doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, sometimes it's hard to take photos. And I want to work on a project again. I did a project years ago called My Ohio, where I went out and took pictures of things that reminded me of Ohio all on film, and I made a photo book out of it and sold this book, which was pretty cool. But I don't know what I want to do now as far as a project goes. I just know I want to do something where it's like a cohesive body of photo work. So to start, I'm just going to take some photos, I guess. I do have a lot of like old rolls of film that I have never developed. Like in this camera right here, I've got 25 shots that I've taken. I don't know when I put this film in here. It's probably about a year ago. And I'm not sure entirely what the shots are. Like, I think some of these were like, I picked up the camera and I was like, oh yeah, there's some photos in here. I snapped a couple shots here and there and then kind of left it. And I think I have maybe like 12, no, a dozen, maybe 2 of like film canisters that are shot completely, that are just sitting in a box that I haven't developed yet. I don't know if I want to develop it myself because it takes a lot of time, but I might. The problem is it's expensive to develop elsewhere. Like right now, I want to say it's probably close to $15 per roll to develop at a store. It used to be $5, but film prices, everything's gone up. The film I used to shoot on that was like $5 to $6 a roll is now over $10, and the price to develop film is very expensive. So a roll of film to shoot and develop somewhere else used to cost me about $10. Now it would be about 20 to 25 at least. And I don't know if I want to spend like $200 trying to develop all this film. I might just do it myself again, but that takes a long time. It's a long process to do at home. So yeah, I don't really know why I turned on the camera this time. I just felt like talking for a minute. So there you go. I'm really curious to see how this little project's going to work out. Just like one long video of random stuff. Maybe I'll try to keep it more in line with the same subject the next time I do this. But for now, I am just going to take out the camera and shoot when I feel like shooting something, and that's it. There's no script, there's no editing, no going back, no listening to it, no watching it until it's uploaded. I might watch it because I think there's some stuff with my kids in here and I want to blur out their faces. So I might watch it before it's uploaded, but I'm not editing anything out of it. It's all just going to stay the way it is. Even the speech issues that I'm having right now, where I'm stumbling over my speech and stuttering a bunch. So you see, the trick to making a good hookah starts in the coals. You gotta get the good coconut coals first. The little quick lights, they're trash. They're not worth it at all. That's for like if you're out and about somewhere and don't have a little stove. This costs $15 at Walmart. Crank that up, get 4 coals going on there. And the best hookah head is like a traditional funnel bowl. Personally, I am partial to the OG 2 Apple by Al Fakr for the shisha. But you'll take your funnel, which is the superior product. Take a fork, which I think is the easiest and least messy way to do it, and start pushing it into the top of the hookah head. Then you want to kind of pat it down so it's all pretty much even across the top of it. And for your maximum hookah experience, you're going to want Reynolds Wrap Heavy Duty. This is like the best aluminum foil to use. Take out a small sheet of it.
fold it in half, crease it, rip it. Now you've got 2 sheets. I lay mine like this, you know, like kind of fold them over like that. Throw it over the top of this, keeping it really tight, or not like super tight before it rips, but like pulling it over, make sure it's pretty tight and flat and there's no like big bumps or anything. And start to smooth it out a bit. So it should look something like this on the top of it. And then you take a regular toothpick and poke in a circle pattern. And start spiraling inwards. Don't just haphazardly poke around everywhere like I see people do. That's the worst way to do it. Add a few more holes if you need to. Don't really need more than that many holes, because in the middle we're actually going to do a whole bunch of them, because it's a funnel. We want more air to flow to come through in the middle. Middle you can be a little bit more dangerous with it, but yeah, it should look something like that right there. Flip the coals halfway through and then put 4 coals in that pattern right there on top. Just a few things to add. Disposable hoses are the way to go. The ones that come with the hookahs are trash. Also, you don't have to get super nice one. I have a Khalil Mamoon, it's an Egyptian hookah, that's what I prefer. The cheaper ones though usually don't work super well, but you can find a good one for a pretty decent price. And now you wait, because it's gotta heat up a bit. You don't want to just start puffing on it immediately. You gotta let it warm up itself. Personally, I rotate the coals around before I start smoking on it. So here we go. First puffs off this thing. Started a little too early, but you know, it's still not bad. I feel like I just gave a TED talk on how to do hard drugs right there. I promise this is not, I mean, it's nicotine, but it's just tobacco. It's not anything bad. Kage, koi, kochi oide. Oi, coming up. You don't want to? Okay. Yell at your dog halfway through. Makes the session even better. Yeah, starting to warm up here. Do as I say, not as I do. Hookah's bad for you. It's tobacco. You shouldn't do it. But if you're going to do it, you should do it the right way because it's better. I used to work at a hookah bar. I used to live at a hookah bar when my wife and I first got together, actually. And that's where I learned how to do all this stuff. A bunch of the people there were from Palestine, Lebanon, Iraq, some Iranians that would come in also. And a lot of Ukrainians too, surprisingly, who all wore leather jackets and used to punch each other in the face for fun, which was weird, but cool guys at least. So that's the how-to on how to make a hookah well, at least. It fits in here, this video somehow, I imagine. Maybe this doesn't fit at all, but I'm not going to take it out, so it is what it is. Side note, I sell these kinds of shirts that say yabai on them, as well as shirts that say Ohio goes aimasu, which is how you say good morning in Japanese. Ohio gozaimasu. They're on my website right now, and I have some hoodies coming out with a Hanya design on the back of them, as well as oyasumi sushi in Japanese going down the front, but they're still not here yet. I don't know why. I placed the order like 3 weeks ago, already approved everything, and I'm still waiting for them to be shipped out. So I think I should have them next week, but I was really hoping to get them this week. And what sucks is the price on the hoodies I was trying to get down really low. I like to sell stuff for a decent price, you know? I don't want to try to make a ton of money off of it. I just want to make a profit and be able to keep doing it. In reality, I really just like making shirts and I want to wear them. So I want to sell them to where I can keep doing that. But the hoodies are going to be a little bit more expensive. I'm thinking they're probably going to be like $60, which I feel is a little high. I wanted to get them out about 45, maybe 50. But unfortunately, that was not doable with the price that I had to pay to get them done for, so. We'll see. We'll see. I think they're going to be cool though. Hopefully. Maybe in this video I'll show them if I get them in time. But to be honest, I've kind of just shot so much random stuff with this right now. I'm sitting at 25 minutes of video, and I think I can only fill this up like 58. So I might fill this up before the hoodies come in. But we might not. I might not fill it up. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This wind is crazy right now. We've got a, oh my gosh, like all the leaves are gone. That's crazy. I mean, I know that they're going to be gone eventually, but almost all, well, not all the leaves, but look at that. There were a lot more leaves on there earlier today. So, kind of funny. But yeah, there's hurricane winds that are here right now for the next couple of days. Lots of branches down. Probably going to lose power at some point. Definitely have some roof damage from all the branches going down. But man, that's crazy. All those leaves that were right there. Huh. Wow. Dude, you were right. This thing is full of insulation.
Oh yeah.
Just piled up everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So what do you need to grab over there?
I gotta find the other coax cable on your side over there,
Okay.
and then I gotta go down to here and try and find your wife.
Oh, fun. Okay. I think this flashlight will actually work pretty well like this. Nice. But a good test will be how bright is it? Like this. Ooh, bright, but it works. So today, Iran launched like 180 missiles into Israel, which is an interesting move. I'm not really one to comment on world politics or world situations like that. I'm not really going to comment too much on it, but it's a little nerve-wracking. Why is it nerve-wracking? It's because I live in the United States, and the United States backs Israel and is vehemently opposed to Iran for the most part. So, yeah, I hope this doesn't turn into something more. But just in case it does, I felt like maybe I should say something about that in this video, just to kind of talk about what's happening, not just in my life, but around the world. There's also a strike going on, something about workers at like different ports in the United States or around the world, I guess, I don't know, are going on strike. So there's a lot of things that we now don't have here. One of the most important things that we don't have access to right now is formula for our daughter, who takes a very specific type of formula. We can't find it anywhere right now. I went to Meijer the other day, and the shelf at Meijer usually has like 20 to 25 different types of formula, and of those each types, they've got dozens of cans, right? Went there 4 days in a row, including today, and they had maybe 5 different kinds of formulas, and there was probably a total of 30 cans for a city of 60,000 people. So, yeah, we have to make do with a different type of formula. We had the same exact issue happen during COVID with our firstborn, where the formula that he took was just out of stock everywhere. And I had to like enlist the help of friends and family to go to different stores, and we were able to scrounge up like 1 or 2 cans every now and then. But for the most part, he had to just have terrible diarrhea, having formula that didn't work for him. So hopefully this ends soon, because it is kind of stressful, because our daughter has stomach issues like our son did, and she can only really have one type of formula. And she's only, how old is she now? She's only 8 months old right now. So she has to be on formula, and we do substitute it with baby food and all that other kind of stuff, but she can't be on like a purely baby food diet yet. She's very much relies on formula. So yeah, Iran-Israel war, hopefully not. That would be really terrible, because it wouldn't just be Iran and Israel, it'd be Iran, Israel, United States, United Kingdom, probably Russia, a couple other countries. Really great. World War III for sure. Or maybe it doesn't happen. Let's hope for that, though. But I figured I might as well just mention something about it to get it on the record. So there we go. So our chickens, let's see if I can make this a little bit brighter, actually. Our chickens have decided to roost up in a tree. Where's the other one? Right there. There's one. The other one's right up there. They've decided to roost up in a tree now instead of their hutch, which is over there. I think it's because of this guy that we got. I think they're scared of him now. But yeah, I don't really know what to do to get him down. I don't really think it's a problem. I think chickens can roost in trees from time to time, not a big deal, but a little bit frustrating because we've got this very expensive hutch over there for them, and they're no longer interested in sleeping in it. He also was inside of the hutch earlier today, so that could be part of it. They feel scared because the dog didn't listen to me and went into the chicken hutch anyways, and now he's wanting to eat up every tree limb and branch that he can find. So yeah, it has been quite a week this week. It is now October 5th, full swing of autumn. Leaves are changing colors. Everything looks really great. Today's Saturday, and on Tuesday we found out that my wife is pregnant again. Fantastic. I mean, babies are always awesome. It's always a blessing. I'm never like upset about a baby being born. But 2 weeks ago, I did tell my parents that I was done having kids, and I don't want to have any more, but are two. So I have to eat my words with that one. We're having a third. We've got enough space in our hearts for a third and space in the house for a third, so not a problem at all. Just very unexpected and not planned at all. So, oh boy, lots gonna change. Oh yeah, I ordered these hoodies, which I've been waiting on forever. They say on the front, Oyasumi Sushi, good night sushi in Japanese. That's my username, Oyasumi Sushi. And on the back, they have this hanya, which is like a Japanese style drama mask thing. The problem is though, you can tell on here, this hanya is really small. It doesn't take up much of the back. And when I first ordered it, I asked them to make it for the full back, which they didn't do. There's also a lot of hoodies that are like off center and crooked. So waiting for them to fix that. They're also really low quality, to be honest. Like looking at the hoodies, they're really thin material, and I think I'm gonna ask them to change what hoodie blank they're printing on. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting time, not gonna lie. Did not expect this week to turn out the way it did, but I guess that's life. I guess that's every week. Every day I'm kind of surprised by what happens. A month ago, if you told me that I'd be sitting here telling the camera about how my wife is pregnant again and the fact that I've got a puppy sleeping on the floor back there, I probably would have been like, nah, that doesn't make any sense. A lot of these things that happen just kind of happen. They're split-second decisions sometimes. Yeah, so, whew. I've been taking a lot more photos. I'm trying to start a project. I want to do a book like I did in the past. I have my book. It's sitting in the front room, in like one of our display cabinets. But I've been shooting on this Fujifilm X-T2, which is like, if you don't know anything about cameras, if you look at the top of that, kind of looks like a film camera. This is supposed to essentially mimic a film camera, but in digital format. So you have the ISO and the shutter speed and everything. I'm sorry, the shutter speed as dials, and then the clicks for the aperture. Picked up this 50mm lens, which is actually it's very tight on here because this is a crop sensor. So really, this is kind of like a very zoomed in prime lens, and it's been different because I usually shoot like this is a 50mm. This is a 16mm. This is what I usually shoot on, which is the equivalent of like a 24mm. So I'm going from 24mm, which is generally considered pretty wide, to very, very tight. And it's messing with my head because I always shoot super wide. Thinking about trying to find some protests and some other events around me to shoot, but I'm kind of getting stuck in this hole right now where I haven't shot really much in Indiana. Majority of my photography was in Cincinnati, especially the street photography. When I shot for my book that I made, I did a lot of fine art portraits and like fine art photos in general in Cincinnati, but I did a ton of street photography and a lot of like documentary photography. And I feel like, I don't want to say it's easier to shoot in bigger cities because there are some parts of it that aren't, but it seems like there's a lot of more like easy opportunities to get good photographs in cities. I could go downtown Cincinnati and see
a man in a business suit walking right in between two pillars and line it up just perfectly. And like every day I went out and shot, I would find 1 or 2 shots that I really enjoyed. And then in a month, I might find 5 or 6 that I thought were really solid photos. But shooting here, I mean, I live in a pretty small city or a really big town, however you want to call it. And it's a lot harder to photograph people. People are more weary of cameras here than they are in big cities, and people are more paying attention to other people than they are in big cities. So in the hustle and bustle of Cincinnati and like the Cincinnati proper areas, it's easy to just go unnoticed. But here, there's not enough people walking around for me to look like a fly on the wall. So I kind of have to blend in to the crowd a little bit more when there's no crowd. I find myself kind of like sitting and waiting for somebody to come into the frame to make the photo look the way I want it to look, rather than just walk around and find it sometimes. It's been a little bit challenging, but I think this is going to be a fun project. I still don't know exactly what I'm going to shoot for it. I was initially thinking like college town, like shooting all about the big college here, because that's the main reason why it's here. But I'm not really sure anymore. I am happy to do it again. I am happy to like just be searching for a project, but I think that's kind of part of the game when you're trying to come up with a photo book or a photo project to really focus on something. Is you'll start here, move over this way, end up way over here, and then finally end up at the, somewhere completely different. So started with the idea I would shoot like the college town feeling here, but now I'm starting to kind of gravitate to just like small town Midwest. I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. And I just like taking photos like that, like just what life is really like. Farmers markets and festivals and cows and corn and farming. And then, some bigger city stuff here and there. I'm not really sure. Now that I'm saying all this stuff out loud, I do kind of feel like I want to go back and say it is somewhat easier to do photos in a bigger city. But I bet that's just because you're taking a lot of photos. There's a lot of photo opportunities. So whether you take a really good photo or not is, maybe there's not really that much of a difference between here and a big city. But in a big city, there's a lot more opportunities for photos. And I think just like generally it's more walkable, Where I live is not very walkable. So I've got to drive or ride my motorcycle somewhere, drive, find a parking spot, and then walk a pretty good distance to an area where there might be some people, there might be some stuff I could shoot, maybe not. So I do a lot of driving to try to find it. When I ride my motorcycle, I have to lug my helmet around everywhere because I don't have a lockbox on my bike. So that kind of makes me stick out, and I also have to carry something heavy, and I don't want to. So I definitely see the appeal of living somewhere like Chicago, San Francisco, New York, that has really good public transit, because you could just throw your camera around your neck and walk around and just take public transit place to place. A lot more walkable cities make it easier to take photos. So I don't know that I'm going to switch back to film for this project. I think I'm going to try to keep it more digital. I love film still shoot on film occasionally. Problem for me is really just becoming price and the amount of time that it takes to shoot on film. I mean, really the thing that I'm changing from film is the reason that most people stopped shooting on film back in the day. With this, I'm not worried about whether the pictures are going to be good or not. I just slow down quite a bit and take my time, and I might make it, I might not make it. But a roll of film, HP5 that I used to shoot on, what does that go for now? It's probably really expensive. I used to get it for about $4.99, HP5 400. Let's see how much it goes for now. 3 rolls for $27. So and that's on Amazon. So right about $10 a roll or so. On B&H they got it for $9 a roll. So the price has come up quite a bit. And I do I usually develop at home, like just pouring some chemicals into a light proof tank, and I like scan and everything here. But those chemicals are now more expensive, and that whole entire process is very exhausting, and that's where I find that I mess up photos the most. Most of the time when my photos are damaged or just not what I want them to be, it has nothing to do with this. It has everything to do with how it's developed. So to develop a single roll could take me about an hour, and then there's, 3 hours of drying. I can't let any dust touch it, and then I've got to scan it in. So that whole process, I mean, start to finish is probably 4 hours just for one single roll, which could be maybe 24 photos depending on what kind of film I'm using. Whereas on my digital camera, I can get really high quality photos, and I just offloaded like 70 of them into Lightroom just now, and it took all of 30 seconds. So yeah, trying to keep it simple and keep it basic. This kind of camera has something called film simulation, so it's a Fujifilm camera. Film simulation is basically just mimicking what certain film stocks look like. So there's a couple different like JPEG options you can put in there. And I've been kind of experimenting between shooting only JPEG in a very specific style of photo, so I know what everything's looking like as I take the picture, and shooting RAW, but setting everything to black and white in my camera. So when I shoot in my camera, it's black and white. Then when I offload it on my computer, it's in color. And that is probably the highest quality way for me to take photos right now, because I can see the contrast and everything that I want in black and white. And if I want to put it in color, I can. But I'm just giving myself too many options with that. Then I'm going through these photos and I'm editing stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, like, how much contrast should I put in this? Should this be black and white? Should it be color? Am I focusing on color when I'm like looking around to see something and then viewing it in black and white, and just like giving myself the option to fall back into color if I want to? I don't know. So I might just switch to one or the other. With film, that's kind of like the cool thing about film. When I put black and white film in here, I will not get color. There's no way to do it. It's going to be in color no matter what. I mean, black and white no matter what. Though with my digital camera, it's like a cheat code. You know, I can like take a photo and be like, if this isn't good, I'll just throw it in black and white. Or if this isn't good, I'll keep it in color, or do whatever. So I think that's kind of been a crutch lately. Maybe I'll just, as I'm saying this out loud, I'm kind of deciding that I might stick to black and white and just throw that, maybe a red filter on some black and white film things on here, and make it all JPEGs. I am sick of having really heavy photos on here. This thing shoots like something close to 52 megabytes per raw image. So maybe I will just stick with JPEGs and we'll go black and white. Black and white is probably that's the type of photography I've done the most as far as like color versus black and white. Almost all my film photos are in black and white. My parents hate it because they like seeing color a lot, but I really like black and white because you have to focus more on what you're shooting, and you can't be distracted by colors in it. You know, take a picture of a really colorful sign doesn't mean it's a good photo. It just means it's really colorful. So then again, a black and white photo of a rose is not good just because it's in black and white. It has to be a good photo still. So maybe that's what I'll do. Anyways, thanks.
Finally getting around to burning some of these sticks. I love a good fire with some leaves and sticks. Smells very nostalgic. The problem comes in though when your clothes are soaked with the smell of campfire, and your hair and everything. Like you definitely have to take a shower immediately after leaving. But yeah, probably should have invited some people over, but it's just like a little one. I like this feeling now. I'm gonna go get another tattoo, or a few more tattoos in just a minute. First I have to grab something to eat. I don't know if I'm gonna be recording the tattoo or not. It is an apprentice that's gonna be doing it. She's really good, but I feel like I put a lot of pressure on her by recording it or something, so I might not actually do that. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have the tattoo done. I'm not excited to be tattooed. I actually really dislike getting tattoos. They hurt. I have to sit still for a long time. I don't enjoy that. Also, this tattoo, or these tattoos, I'm getting my ditch, which is the inside of your, it's the inside of your elbow, like right here. I'm tattooing that, as well as my elbows on both of my arms. And then also touching up some other tattoos. So I think it's gonna suck, to be honest, but it is what it is. I can't wait for it to be done. Where's the stop button? Right here, thanks. Sign all the time. I kind of want to take his picture, to be honest. I might go take his picture later. I don't know, we'll see. I didn't record when I was in the tattoo studio getting tattooed. It was an apprentice that tattoos me, so I felt a little bad recording it. But I got my, yeah, like they call this the ditch area tattooed, as well as my elbows. Elbows suck getting tattooed, not gonna lie. They're pretty painful. I don't even know if this is like, if you're able to see this or not, because I can't really see the screen very well. But it's also been a lot more difficult to keep shooting on this than I thought it would be. I figured, oh, I like to shoot a lot, I'll probably overshoot everything, but actually I'm having trouble filling up this tape. I still have maybe another 13, 14 minutes to go, so this definitely is a longer project than I thought it would be, because I figured I would be done in about a week, but I want to say it's probably been 3 weeks or so of doing this, but so far I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm excited to see what it looks like. These are the only 2 chickens we have left, because unfortunately a fox got the others. Kage, dame, oi, oi, dame. Yeah, they're not super happy. They don't like Kage very much. Kage likes them though. They're getting good. They're getting big. I don't know if they're laying yet, but they should be soon. Let me go check. I mean, they roost up on top of the roof. But we've got this little area that I really desperately need to clean. No eggs. Okay. So, not laying yet, but hopefully soon. What do you think, Kage? You want them to have some eggs soon? You're not going to get any of them, though. Kachan, Kachan, Kachan. Kachan, nani shiteru no? He's a good dog. He's getting bigger. He does really well, though. Oswari. See, look at that. Look how smart he is. Fuset. 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 Ii kou da ne. Look at that. Look how smart he is. Sits and lays down. Good job. I'm out doing a little bit of a photo walk or photo ride, I guess. So I've got my motorcycle here with me. And I'm just kind of riding around the town trying to see what I can find. And I found this really cool sports complex that's abandoned. I like the look of everything right here. So I'm going to be shooting out here for a little bit. I feel like when I was younger, like this is my parents' hometown. I think when I was younger I might have played baseball here back in the day, in the 90s. But I don't recall. It's interesting, there's no gate or signs or anything, but everything's heavily overgrown. This was once a parking lot, and we can tell because there are signs for parking right there in the middle of all those shrubbery things, vegetation, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, have to get a couple photos out here. I just think that looks so cool. Something about that building is like really attractive to me, especially with the little golden light coming through right now. So yeah, I'm excited to shoot some stuff here. I wish I could show it, but I'm not going to edit this video, so you'll have to check out my Instagram to see it. This is another spot that I've been shooting at. I think this has been abandoned since I was born, like maybe before actually. I don't recall what it was, but it's a mass. I mean, there's so much space through here. I haven't actually been in there at all, but I mean, it goes pretty deep. Huge. I don't know what this was, but whatever was here is gone now. It just has like a couple remnants of what was left. And I think it looks cool. So I've got a couple shots here. I like the lighting right here too. If only I could remember what this was. I really don't know. There's no signs on anything. And I seriously think this has been abandoned for maybe 30 years or so. It's kind of weird that there's a mattress over there. But broken glass everywhere. I might try to get a shot of that broken glass. Who knows? We'll see. Oh, there we go. I zoomed in way too far. Yeah, that might be kind of cool if I can get the light to come off of it at the right angle, but I don't like taking photos of things just because I think the thing is interesting. It's got to be an interesting composition too, so we'll see what I can do with that. Look how much bigger this puppy has got. I mean, I guess it's hard to tell on camera, but man, he got big real fast. Good boy. いい子だね。かっちゃん、いい子だね。お座り。お座り。いい子だね。We're still only teaching him Japanese, which is a ton of fun. So this is actually going to be the last video I make on here. just because I'm at about 51 minutes or so in. And I think I get close to an hour, but I don't think it's a full hour. I think it's more like 55 minutes or so. It's been kind of a fun project, just trying to fill this thing up with video. I might do it again. It's been a little difficult to find things to put in it without intentionally shooting on it every single day. I kind of forget about it here and there. But we're ending on October 22nd. It's about 2 p.m. Yeah, it's about 2 p.m. And the chickens are having fun. The dog's very happy. Yeah, let me know what you think about this. I feel like this is like a really nostalgic way to document things, to have just a continuous run of video instead of constant editing and constant working on stuff like that. I think it is kind of fun. But I didn't really have a point for this video. It was just kind of documenting and talking to the camera here and there. Maybe some people find it interesting. I found it fun to do. But it would have been maybe a bit nicer if I found like a specific topic to keep talking about, or something specific to keep running with. So I'll leave you with a few more clips of all the leaves that are falling right now, because there's leaves falling everywhere at the moment. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
Got all those leaves that just started, they were not here the other day. I didn't notice that the trees in our backyard have changed colors until just now. Nice yellows. I wish that this would have turned, we had a huge windstorm, so a lot of the leaves were gone already, but I wish this would have turned more orange before they started to fall off. Beautiful still though. I'm not a huge fan of the Midwest. I wasn't when I was younger, but that look right there is one thing about the Midwest that I love. The actual all four seasons and the changing seasons. But just over that way though, all those trees out there, whew, beautiful. It's a ton of fun to ride my motorcycle through that. Yeah, all right. That's the end. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.